It's 5 a.m. Just finished my morning push-ups. Just doing my morning walk. I don't really know how to start this journey, but I'm just going to start and see where it leads. I want it as a reference to go back to document my journey, my self-development journey, my coaching journey, my physique, my mindset, everything. I just want to document it because there's so many millionaires out there who have documented the journey from when they very first started. It's one of the most inspiring things I have ever seen. The very first time I seen something along them lines, it was incredible, and it opened my eyes to see that somebody was in a certain position and now they're here in a far better position than they were when they started. And that's kind of what I want to achieve. That's what I want to show. Me going from a normal kid, council estate, average job, average family income, from a normal kid to see how far I can push my limits, because I believe it. I have the self-belief to talk it, and I have the self-belief to try absolutely anything and to just keep pushing. My name's Griggs. I'm another young, aspiring entrepreneur, millionaire. Just another kid who wants to do well for himself, provide, inspire, motivate other people. I have big aspirations. You know, nobody might watch this, but for the past couple of years, I've always seemed to think a bit differently to other people, whether they agree or disagree. I always seem to have a different mindset to other people, and I think it'd be good to share it with other people and to see if they share the same mindset. I don't want no structure to this first video. I want it to be real. I want to be able to relate back to it in a year's, 2 years, 3 years time, however long it takes in order for me to be successful and to get to the point that I at least envision. You know, I want to scale way beyond that, but at least get to a point that I think about every day. I want to be able to have this as a reference to come back to. If I can help build a community, even if it's 10 people, even if I help one person, you know, get out of bed, do something with their life, get in shape, fix the mindset, because it's not just about being in shape, it's deeper than that. It's about what it takes to get in shape. It's everything beneath it. The trials and the tribulations, the consistency, the hard work. You trust yourself because you can stick to your word. How are other people going to trust you when you can't even look after yourself? You can't even stick to your own word. You can't even stick to a diet. For me, it's not really somebody I can trust. And it's not just about being in shape either. I want to document everything. I have the mindset that, you know, it's pointless being broke and in shape. It's pointless being multimillionaire if you're fat as fuck. I truly believe there's so many pillars in order to how I envision a man to be. You've got to tick every pillar off. And that's what I want to document. I want to document my journey, physical and mental development journey, my coaching business, and just thoughts on the world, thoughts on the fitness scene, the mentality side of it, everything. So if nobody watches it, it's what it is. I've got it to, I'm going to have it to refer back to. If one person watches it and it changes the way they live, then, I've already done more than enough. So we'll see. Just pulled up to the gym to do my morning cardio, which I do every single morning. It's never something I want to do, but I've been seeing results, not just physically but mentally. It sets me up for the day even more than I thought I already was. By doing my push-ups, by doing my walk, by doing my mindset work, and any other work, any coaching work I need to get done. But it's 6 a.m. I've just pulled up. I've only been coming in the morning for about 5 weeks. The main reason why I'm starting this journey and what's kind of made me do it is in 10 weeks I'm doing a photo shoot for my physique. I'm about 2 months into cut, got another 10 weeks to push, maybe 9 weeks now. Still got another 5 kilo to lose. So I'm going to document from now to that point as well. Maybe once a week, show my progress. Because I think it's going to be interesting for people to see. With social media, everybody seems to be in shape. But when you go to the gym, a lot of people are in shape. But in that elite level shape, there's only maybe 1 or 2 people. When you go on holiday, same again, 1-2 people max. And that's what I'm trying to chase for this photo shoot. So I wanted to challenge myself, that's why I'm doing it. And I think, like I said, it's going to be interesting for people to see. I do not want to do cardio right now. But if you do things regardless of how you feel, you're not only going to see results physically, but mentally. That's where so many people go wrong, is they act on pure emotion. And that's why you're either always negative, you're always pessimistic, and you don't see no fucking results. Because people act on their emotions. And if you wake up, or if you're tired after work, whatever it may be, and you don't do a said action, you're never going to get the result, ever. 9 times out of 10, I act upon pure mentality and discipline. And that's what I gained through boxing. But I lost it after my last fight. I stopped boxing due to work. And somewhere after, I lost my ways. I finally felt what it was like to be in a bad mental state. But I know why. Because I self-analysed. Once I pulled myself out of it, I self-analysed, I reflected. Why did I feel like that? And I figured it out. So I now know what not to do in order to get to that position. I will never, ever be in that position again. Because I truly believe everything's self-inflicted, which that definitely was. And a lot of people's positions are self-inflicted. You feel like this because you live like this. And I see it day after day after day. I'm not a man of excuses, or at least I try not to be. So let's get this fucking incline walking. So that's cardio boxed off, 45 minutes incline walk. The changes that does to your body is unreal. But I'm going to be posting my physique, I'm going to be showing week by week check-ins. It's like I said, I'm about 9 weeks out now. So I've still got another about 5 kilo to drop. And it's just going to show that somebody who hasn't got crazy genetics, who's not on peptides, is not on steroids, he's just obsessed with perfecting the craft, perfecting my nutrition, just doing everything as you should. Everybody's so focused on what's the best route to take, what peptide can I take, what easy route can I take, what's going to get me there the quickest. But for me, I just want to do what's right. I want to do what's going to keep me healthy, what's going to make me look amazing, that's going to make me perform, that's going to make my energy skyrocket, hormones balance. Like, I want to do what's right. I want to do the scientific way. I just want to get results without jeopardizing my health. And that's what's going to build your mindset. That's what's going to build your physique. That's what's going to build you as a person. So yeah, I'm going to get home now and refeed. Eggs, sourdough. So that's second session of the day boxed off. Just did a push session. But yeah, I'm ready to really dive deep into the online space. Not give a fuck what anybody thinks. I haven't done for a while. When you really are at one with yourself, you start just doing what's good for you. As selfish as it sounds, I believe you've got to be selfish in order to become selfless. If I didn't look after myself, I couldn't be not only a positive influence to be around, but I wouldn't be a positive person to be around. You know, if I didn't fill my cup, then no one would want to be around me, because I'd be negative, because I'd think I haven't worked out, I haven't read my book, I haven't listened to that podcast, I haven't ate all my meals. Now that seems obsessive, but in order to see progression, you've got to have the obsession of constantly bettering yourself. I am obsessed with bettering myself. And not just the gym. The gym is just a small part of it. The physique is just a small part of a massive, massive structure that you need in order to be the man you want to be. And I think I might have touched on it earlier, that I believe there's so many pillars in order to become what I view as a man. And I'm not going to stop until I get to that point. How I envision myself in the future, I want to be an inspiration. I don't want my kids to look up to another man or another superhero. I want to be that. I want to be the man they look up to. Oh, my dad's done it, so I can do it. My dad looks like that, I can look like that. My dad's got that car. My dad's got multi-millions. That's what I want them to say. That's what I want. I want to be the person they look up to the most, as well as my girlfriend. I want to be a good influence on her. I want her to be positively influenced by my actions. My family, I want them to be positively influenced. That's all I think about day in, day out. But in order to become that man, I need to be selfish. But there's a balance. Now, I don't think balance really exists in my life, because I'm up at 5 a.m. I'm constantly working up until, tonight it's 10 to 8 now. It's nearly 8 p.m. and probably going to work up until about 10, half 10. You know, some days are different. But when I hear somebody on social media, there's only maybe one every 20 people I come across, and I think, yeah, I fuck with your content. You're not cringy. It's not funny. It's serious. It's advice. It's inspirational, motivational. That's the type of person I want to be. I don't want to be funny. That's not what I want to be. I don't want to entertain. There might be 5 people who watch this video from the start to the finish. But if this inspires 5 people, even if it inspires one person to just try. Just fucking try. Try, and try again. If I'd have started the gym when I did about 3.5, 4 years ago, after I stopped boxing, and I looked at everybody else and thought, genetics, nah, they've been doing it a lot longer. Nah, I don't think, they've got a different mindset. If I'd have thought like that, or thought that I couldn't reach that level, or have the potential to reach that level, then I wouldn't have been here today. And thank fuck that I didn't adopt that negative mindset. Sure, there's sessions. There's been so many sessions where I think, pointless. But it's not pointless when it builds you the confidence, it builds you the energy. It builds you to be the man you want to be. And you're proud of what you've built. You're sculpting a statue. Think how long it takes workers, construction workers, to build a statue. Especially back in the day. They were sculpting it bit by bit. That's what you're doing with your physique. And not just your physique, but your mentality. That's how I view it. Every book I read, every podcast I listen to, every YouTube video I watch, every life experience that I have in my life, it's all part of sculpting myself. I'm just obsessed with the game. When I was boxing, I went from being, chubby, skinny, fat, to skinny, because I grew up, I was doing loads of cardio, I weren't eating as good as I was supposed to. And then I was having ham and cheese wraps for my dinner. Absolutely pathetic. Disgusting. It makes me feel sick thinking back at that. When I started getting into macros, getting into calories, getting into ingredients, just getting into the nutrition side of it, I tracked it on MyFitnessPal and I was disgusted. The amount of fat that were in it. Because it's not good fat. It were all bullshit omega-6 processed fat. So I changed it. Started eating cleaner protein sources. Eating more protein, realising I needed a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I did that. And within a short period, I started being more energised. My hormones were more balanced. And not just that, my abs started coming through more prominent. Because before I just had that kind of skinny, lean boy six-pack. It started coming through properly. And you could see it on photos. You could see it when I looked down. It looked like a proper six-pack. And I YouTubed all the time when I was a kid to figure out how to get a six-pack. I was always watching videos on how to improve myself, not knowing what self-development was, not knowing it were a real thing. I just thought you were kind of born as you are, which you are, but you can do. A lot of people don't help themselves. And I'd rather every day help myself as much as I can. This is the whole point of self-development. But before I go on too much of a rant, this journey that I'm about to go on, that I'm about to start, I don't want to preach just physique and mindset. It's everything. That's what I'm trying to achieve. The financial side, I know it's going to come. And I do all right. But I know it's going to come. Like I said earlier, if I've put it in the video, it is pointless being in incredible shape, but being fucking broke. Not being able to provide, not being able to buy the car you want. Only being able to afford your food shop and your gym membership. And maybe a bit of fuel in a beat down car. There's nothing wrong with that. But I find it pointless and I don't want that. I want a family. I want to take care of people. I want to give back. I want to buy myself a fucking G-Wagon. And I know I used to flex Daytona. But apart from all that. And it's pointless being a multi-millionaire, rich, wealthy, and looking like shit, feeling like shit. Testosterone absolutely tanked. I don't find it impressive. As much as I want to be a multimillionaire, as much as I want the G-Wagon, I want that, I want this, I want the holidays to Marbella. When I see somebody in that position and they're fat as fuck, or they're skinny fat, or they've not got an ounce of muscle on them, sure, I respect them from a financial perspective, 100%. Do I want their money? Without a doubt. But the respect just isn't there for me. Because she's showing me, yeah, you can make money, but you can't look after yourself. And I just don't find it impressive. That's not what I want for my life. I'd rather earn 100k a year and have every pillar ticked off than £1 million a year and look like shit and not have the knowledge, not have common knowledge, not be able to speak good. I'm constantly envisioning every fucking day to be better. Every day. And don't get me wrong, I am still human. I got ill just when I started the cut, maybe 2 months ago. And I had a few people sharing the stories because I stopped my daily push-ups. I didn't go to the gym for like 2 weeks. And I just started the cut. It was the first day. And I had a few people sharing, and I could tell people probably thinking, oh, he's having days off. We're still fucking human. But I want to be raw. I want to be real. I want to document my highs, my lows, my trials, my tribulations. And hopefully a lot of it is just going to be success. Because I'm not going to fucking stop until I get to it. And this is my personal diary, my personal commitment, my word to myself and to whoever's watching that I will not stop. I want to build a coaching brand, not like everybody else. I don't want to just do a workout plan, do a meal plan and send you a check-in. I want it to be more than that. I want to build a community. I want to change people's lives. I don't want to just influence the way people think like an influencer. I want to change the way people live like a coach would. I want people to be excited, passionate. I don't give a fuck about like the gym, the lifting weights. It's what it does for you. It's what's beneath it. That's what I love. That's what I find interesting. That's my passion. Is doing a said thing to get a said result without jeopardizing your health. That's kind of my main circuit. I could look absolutely incredible if I started taking peptides and steroids, but I won't do it. I will not jeopardize my health because it's starting to be glamorized to get a certain physique. I will not do it. I know I can achieve greatness without taking the easy route, without jeopardizing my health. But that's what a lot of people look at. We can save this for another video, but steroids, peptides, everybody's just looking for an easy way out. You've got boys that have been in the game for 10, 20 years and they're only just hopping on because they want to take the physique to the next level. But yeah, this is going to be a personal word to myself and to whoever's watching. Hopefully it inspires at least one person. And if nobody watches it, I've got it to look back on. Never really thought of doing YouTube. Maybe when I were a kid. But let's see how far we can push it. Let's see how far we can push each other. Like I said earlier, I'm 9 weeks out from a photo shoot. I'm going to be documenting it. And I just want to show that you can be relatable to someone who's just normal and he just wants to do well. I have not grew up any differently. I used to eat 2-3 McDonald's a week. I used to street dance. I used to look like shit. Feel like shit. Some days I didn't even want to get a shower because I was that tired and I just couldn't be arsed. But that's because it was self-inflicted. And, I'm talking when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. I'm no different to anybody else. I've just chose to rewire my mindset and choose the path of personal development. So let's see what we can achieve.